Okay, so I've had a request to look at question 3F from worksheet 5, that's the complex numbers questions. So remember we've got z equal to 1 plus I, w is 2 minus 5i, and we're looking to find w squared divided by z bar, or the conjugate of z. So what I would probably do with this one is, like you do with most fractions, look at what you've got to do on the top and on the bottom. So we need to square w before we can do the division. We also need to find the conjugate of z before we can do the division. So the bottom part of that is pretty easy. We just need to change the plus to a minus in front of the I in z. So we can do that one, the conjugate of z. And on the top we need to square w. So we need 2 minus 5i, that's w, multiplied by itself. Okay, so next step, before we do the division, we still need to multiply that top part. So we'll expand out the brackets, and we should get 4 minus 10i, another minus 10i, plus 25 when we multiply the two minus 5's, and the i's will be I squared. And that's all divided by 1 minus I still. So we'll clean up the top. Remember, I squared is equal to minus 1. So we're going to have minus 25 there. 4 minus 25 is minus 21. Minus 10i and minus 10i, that should give us minus 20i, all divided by 1 minus I. Now we can go to the part where we actually do the division by multiplying by conjugate over conjugate. Okay, so that's going to be, I'll put them in brackets, minus 21 minus 20i, because I'm about to multiply. 1 minus I on the bottom. And we're going to multiply by the conjugate of the bottom, which is 1 plus I, of course. 1 plus I, just changing the sign in front of the i's there. Okay, so multiplying on the top, we're going to have minus 21 and minus 21i, minus 20i, and minus 20i squared. On the bottom, remember when we multiply conjugates we should get a real number at the end. So we're going to have 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times I is plus I, minus I times 1 is minus I. You can see those are going to knock each other out. Minus I squared. And now we're going to clean things up. So remember that's minus 1, so it's going to become plus 20. Minus 21 plus 20 is going to be minus 1. Minus 21i, take another 20i is minus 41i, and it's all over, cancel, cancel. I squared is minus 1, but we've already got a minus, so that's going to be plus 1. 1 plus 1 is going to give us 2 on the bottom. And the last thing we probably should do is clean it up just by writing it in the regular standard form for a complex number. So split the fraction, minus 1 on 2 and minus 41 on 2 I, and I think that should be w squared divided by z's conjugate. I think that's it.